Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Dr. Afsar's Gynae and Obstetrics Postgraduate Study channel. As I talked with you people that I will be taking lectures on the anatomy of the female genital tract. So today I have selected the topic uterus. So to start with, what is the shape of the uterus? It is piriform in shape. What is the size of the uterus? We will talk about its length, thickness and width. Its length is 9 cm, its width is 6.5 cm and its thickness is 3.5 cm. So what are the parts, how it is divided? It is divided anatomically and functionally into the body and the cervix. What is the weight of the uterus? Its weight is about 1 ounce or 60 grams. And what is the internal os? Internal os is very important area of the uterus, and here three important things happen. Number one is that the line of the division corresponds to the peritoneum on the front of the uterus, which is reflected onto the bladder at this point. Then another thing is that the mucous membrane lining the cavity of the uterus becomes continuous with that of the cervical canal at this point. Number three is the uterine artery, after passing almost transversely across the pelvis, reaches the uterus and turns at right angle at this point and passes vertically upwards along the lateral wall of the uterus. Here you can very well see that this is the uterine artery which comes transversely and almost at the level of the internal os, it then vertically moves upwards. And then what is the cervix? The cervix is divided into vaginal and supravaginal portions. What is the fundus of the uterus? Which portion is called fundus? The fundus of the uterus is that part of the corpus uteri which lies above the insertion of the fallopian tubes. Here you can see above the insertion of the fallopian tubes, this upper part is called the fundus of the uterus. Then I talk about the cavity of the uterus. The cavity of the uterus communicates above with the opening of the fallopian tubes, and by the way of their abdominal ostia is in direct continuity with the peritoneal cavity. Here you can see this uterine cavity communicates with that of the fallopian tube cavity, and through the fallopian tube it communicates with the abdominal cavity. Then what about the walls of the uterus? It consists of three layers. The peritoneal covering, the outermost is called the perimetrium. The outermost peritoneal covering is called the perimetrium. The muscle layer or the myometrium, which is in the middle, and then comes the mucous membrane of the endometrium, which is on the most inner side. Remember another thing, that uterus is capable of distension during pregnancy, hematometra, as well as with the distended media during the hysteroscopic examination. Otherwise the two walls are in apposition. So it means that the two walls of the uterus, they are in a position that they are present in close proximity with each other. But if there is pregnancy, if there is some media which we do during hysteroscopy, then these walls can become separate. Look at this diagram. Here I have mentioned different parts of the uterus. Here, as I talked earlier, is the fundus, then comes the fallopian tubes, and there are four parts of the fallopian tube. One is intramural part, then comes the isthmus, then ampulla, then infundibulum, and these are the fimbriae of the fallopian tube. This is the uterine artery which comes transversely and it moves vertically upwards at the level of the internal os, and then it anastomoses with the ovarian artery. Here you can see this is the cavity of the uterus, this is internal os, this is external os, and here lies the uterus just below the uterine artery. And then this is lateral fornix, this is cervical canal. And what is this bluish structure? It is transverse cervical ligament, which is also called McEnroth's ligament. So keep following Dr. Afsar's Gynae and Obstetrics Study channel for more information. Jazakallah khair.